So Stranger Things Season 3. Sorry this video is a little bit late. I like to take my time with TV shows, pace myself a little bit. I don't want to binge it all in one day like some people do. So I in general like the first two seasons. They have great acting, great writing, great direction. But when a series gets to its third season, you really do have to switch it up a little bit. Otherwise, it's just going to get repetitive. So yeah, let's start with the plot. As per usual, I'm going to have some minor spoilers in the plot section. Nothing too major, but just some stuff that I can't really talk about without spoiling anything. So the main storyline of this season involves a monster called the Mind Flayer attempting to take over Hawkins. This monster can mind control people and is using them to build an army. The kids figure out that there is this lab under the new mall and have to figure out what that's all about. So first off, the storyline with Hopper being uncomfortable that Mike is dating Eleven is hilarious. It works in every way. The storyline about Will having trouble accepting that the group is growing up works really well also. But it feels cut short. I feel like they could have given it a little bit better of a resolution. But, as always with this show, the storylines about the adults are just not as interesting with the storylines about the kids. Winona Ryder and David Harbour's story and Nancy and Jonathan's story, those two plot lines are just not as interesting as the Dustin Steve Robin story or the storyline with the rest of the kids. There's this plot line about Mike's parents having marital problems, and it just went nowhere. It served absolutely no purpose, especially since they seem to have just made up by the end of the season. The plot overall meanders a bit for the first 3 or 4 episodes, but from then onward it was very fast-paced, and I was never bored. And yeah, you could argue that the season embraces its campiness a bit too much. I don't mind it. I love how the season is able to embrace its 80s silliness. There's some really good direction in this season from the Duffer Brothers, Sean Levy, and Uta Brieswitz. Whether we're talking about the horror scenes, or the action scenes, or the character scenes. There's this standout sequence set in a hospital, which was actually pretty creepy. Props to them. So yeah, part 2, character. As per usual, the chemistry and the dynamics between the 6 main kids is awesome. This is some of the best chemistry between child actors I've ever seen. The relationship between Steve and Dustin gets more screen time this season, which I really like. One of the things I didn't like about season 2 was the character of Max. She just felt bland and they didn't quite know exactly what to do with her. This season develops her more and gives her more of a personality and a backstory, which is good for her character development. The season also does a lot for Billy. Baker Montgomery gets a lot more to do and he feels more fleshed out. A lot of people didn't like how this series characterized Winona Ryder. I actually liked her characterization in this season. I'm glad that they didn't make her the hysterical, panicky mom again. Instead, she gets a lot more screen time with David Harbour, which is good because the two have great chemistry. I like some of the new additions to the cast too, like Lucas's sister Erica and the scientist Alexei. But there is some negatives when it comes to the characters also. There's a new character called Robin who just feels underdeveloped. There's a new villain in Carrie Elwes who also just feels underdeveloped. There's this guy, I always called him the Terminator because he looks like a combination of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Robert Patrick. He just felt like a generic 80s action movie villain. So as always, the kids are the best part of this season. But every time it cuts to Winona Ryder or David Harbour or the teenage characters Jonathan and Nancy, I just lose interest a little bit. For part 3, theme. So the main theme of this season is change. Hopper has trouble accepting the fact that his daughter is growing up. Joyce wants to move out of Hawkins, away from the bad memories. She's still grieving from the loss of Sam and wants a change of pace. Will can't accept the fact that the other 3 boys have girlfriends and aren't interested in doing things like playing Dungeons and Dragons. Steve refuses to change. He stays in his hometown instead of going to college. This season is not very thematically rich, but that doesn't bother me. I've never been the type of dude that wants or needs every single story I consume, watch, or read to be super deep, super thematically rich, super thought-provoking. I just want a good story and good characters, which this season very much provides. So yeah, skip to this time on the clock to skip the spoilers. I was very happy with Billy getting his moment of redemption. It felt earned. I also thought that Hopper's death was earned. They really made sure to give him a satisfying character arc this season. I'm going to admit, when Elle started reading Hopper's note, I teared up a little bit, not gonna lie. That whole final scene was a tearjerker. So Hopper may or may not be alive. There's a post-credit scene that kind of hints at it, but who knows. So yeah, all in all, very good season. This might be my favorite season yet. I had a positive reaction to this season. The only thing that keeps it from being very positive or extremely positive is a couple plot lines that don't really go anywhere. So yeah, this show is still going strong. I think the Duffer Brothers have confirmed that they want a season 4, but they don't want anything else after season 4. So yeah, I'd be okay with the season 4 as long as the Duffer Brothers are helming it, and as long as it doesn't feel unnecessary. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching. If you have any video ideas, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.